Hey, it's Tacoma Comics, and I'm live, but I didn't make my drink yet, so I will be right back. You guys get to watch me on the fly. Something humorous.
It's on the second shelf in the back.
All right. Let's get going. Whew. There you go. That's a bit more like where I usually do my show from. Let's put a little charger in that computer. It's been a most unprofessional beginning, my friends. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. So we got a nice heavy-weighted bourbon glass there full of some ice cubes. It is hot as a mother out here. It's just really icky today, and I've been out all day, and then I got some IKEA furniture, so I made my son. I built my son's IKEA furniture, built it with him actually, which is pretty cool. But that all takes time. So today's bourbon is Kadai. Anybody? I don't know. Kadai Distillery, a straight bourbon whiskey, handcrafted on the Isle of Whidbey. So I was really interested in that, right? It's 84 proof, 42%. It's really smooth, nothing special about it, but it's really nice. So, KD is pure in Gaelic. We believe in using only the purest ingredients in pristine way and pure setting, the Isle of Whidbey. So nobody calls it the Isle of Whidbey. We call it Whidbey Island. It's a place in Washington, right? Matured, finished, and bottled by KD Distillery in Clinton, Washington, which I'm not even sure if that's on the Isle of Whidbey. I'm not totally positive how that works. Sorry, just checking something. But I just found out from my friend who came over, and he's a huge bourbon fan. Straight bourbon whiskey, notes of cinnamon, walnut, and allspice. Oh, I should have done a taste test. I don't think I would have gotten any of them. He actually told me where this was from. See, it says Clinton, Washington is where the distillery is, but it's distilled in Indiana. And he said there's like 2 or 3 main distilleries in the country. That's where you get bourbon from. And it's actually a lot of them, the old Seagram's distilleries that got taken over by a company. And so he said most bourbon comes from 1 or 2 places if it's an Indiana bourbon, and then a lot more if it's Kentucky bourbon, because there's a richer history of Kentucky bourbon there. So this is sent and then finished in Washington, but it's not a Washington bourbon, which I just thought was really interesting. Just a really interesting bit of history on this stuff, because I know nothing about any of it. Wow, we're empty today. Don't know where everybody is, but that's okay, man. That's okay. People are here. People will get here, and we will chill and hang out. So I already forgot what the notes are. I'm much better at this with wine than I am with bourbon. I don't know that I could get this at all. And I think a lot of it's pretentious bullshit, but sometimes pretentious bullshit is fun. So let's take it. Vanilla, no doubt about it. Did I mention vanilla? That's what I'm getting. Okay, so vanilla. I want to say oak, but I remember reading oak. Let's see what the other flavors were that supposed to be there. With notes of cinnamon, Mm-mm. Walnut, really. Allspice, and then it says oak and vanilla tones. So I definitely got vanilla. That was the only flavor I could identify. I don't know allspice. Some of those maybe they're there in like trace amounts, but my palate is not that sophisticated. So let's move on and see. Let's see what's going on. There were two auctions raging, and perhaps that's why nobody is here. I know it sounds desperate. Where are people? Why aren't they here? So if you watch me whine, just skip ahead till you see me do the haul. And I'll get there. Oh, very cool. Sorry, now I'm looking at people's IG posts. Let's see. There were two auctions going on. Let's see. We still have. Well, Jig's Kingdom has a hangout with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people on. And then Symbiote Comic Book Club auction is still going. It looks like the Key Unit, the new name of Chino and Friends, is done. So I'm up against an auction and a 10-person hangout. So maybe I'll get 0 customers. That's okay. We can end it early and go hang out elsewhere. So that's the bourbon. Bullshit today. Not a lot of it, except I went to Federal Way the other day. That's like north of Tacoma by 20 minutes. And went to the 2 comic book shops I could find there. One had some nice dollar finds. The other one had 60% off some recent moderns, like 3 months old, 4 months old. They're doing a sale every month this summer. They get 10% more off, but of course, more people buy them. So it was okay. I had some good stuff, but I posted about that on Sunday, and people were like, hey, you know what you need to do? You need to get yourself to this place in Auburn, Hill House Comics. They're like, that's got the quarter bins, the dollar bins, the $2 bins, and lots of them. So I had some chores today. I went to IKEA, went to Costco, went to the Half Price Books in Renton, which is not the one near me. And I went to this comic book shop in Auburn, and it was as awesome as people said. But it was one of those like massive stores and kind of split down the middle. That side is gaming and Magic, gathering cards, and all that stuff, and this side is comics and comics and comics. It's like, yes, comics and comics and comics. That's cool. That's what I like. So I'm sitting there, and I am going through comics and comics and comics and comics and comics, and it occurs to me all of a sudden that the guy working there isn't wearing a mask, and I'm like, excuse me, aren't you supposed to be wearing a mask? And he's like, oh no, I'm like, I thought it was mandatory. Yeah, the owner says we don't have to wear them. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't get that. So I'm going to be following up on that, because as far as I know, everybody in Washington, I mean, that's King County, I'm Pierce County, and we're like the 2 most populous counties. So we're the furthest along in our phases. As far as I know, the governor put a state mandated order. Everybody should be wearing masks. So anyway, if somebody's not wearing a mask, it freaks me out. Hey, I got 2 people in the chat. Let me know who you are, my friends, because I was feeling lonely on my live show. Looks like Jig's got his thing going on and it's taking over. Plus, I was competing with 2 auctions. So anyway, Mike is here. Mike, what's up, my friend? I got your package yesterday. I had totally forgotten what I ordered. Like, none of it looked familiar. I'm just like, all right, these are the books I won from Mike. But yeah, I did get your package, some X-Men, some Star Wars. I remember the Star Wars. That was the only thing I remember. So kind of nice to get an extra X-Men 166. Anyway, the store I went to today, let me show you that haul. From the dollar bins, I was able to pick up, I wish these are quarter bins or 50-cent bins, was able to pick up some noms that was missing from that run. So I got my 15. I got my 18. I got my 19. And check this out. This is a great little sexy cover. Issue 23. I dig that a lot. I haven't seen that cover specifically because I was missing that issue. So pretty happy to have found that cover. Yeah, do you want it back? You put it in my box. I don't know if it was part of the lot, but you sent it to me, so I hope it was. No, I'm sure it's all good. I found this Excalibur #1 for $1, so I was pretty excited about that. There's a small first appearance, and obviously the first Excalibur book in there. And then I found these airs, which I love the art on these. MK Perker is the artist, but the reason why I got these is because this was the first comic series that G. Willow Wilson did, and she is, of course, the one who popularized Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. And so I just, I'm a huge fan. In case anybody didn't know, I'm a huge fan of Miss Marvel. I just went back and found issue 1 of these about a year ago, and I've been slowly building. These were in the 3 for $1 box, so I got 6 issues for $2, which I thought was pretty phenomenal. Found issue 4 of Fractions run on Hawkeye for $2, which is one of the ones that I was missing in this run. Now I'm just missing 5. I've had several copies of issue 9. That's the one with the with Kate Bishop on with the bow and arrow. The second printing of that, which I think I've also had, apparently is a big money book. I didn't know that because it's the one that's in purple. So that's something for people to look out for. I loved the Flintstones run on, I loved Mark Russell's run on the Flintstones. And so I found this. This is like a rare variant. I don't think anybody is buying this book or cares about it, but I just wanted it for my PC for $2. Cool. I know that Lady Fantastic was looking for this book, and I tried to message. Oh shoot, I got her phone number. I should text her. I tried to message her on IG. I'm like, "You still getting this?" And I went ahead and bought it anyway. It's a Stephanie Hans Storm issue that's just super hot, and so that was $2. She had ordered one for $6, and I was like, "Oh dang, I wish I'd known." And then I also got this one, which I love the detail on the hair when you get close up in this. Right, I just love what she did with Storm there. So those are both 2 Hans covers to Storms. I may sell them because I already have them. I got a Witches for $2. That's going for an auction. I got another Witches for $2. The one thing that I spent money on at this store, I'm trying to collect all the Phil Noto variants to Civil War II. And so I didn't have this issue, this She-Hulk that he did for issue 1 of Civil War II. Now I just need to get the Phil Noto variant for issue 4, which is like a Hulk Captain Marvel mashup. Some people have been specking on this book, and I thought it was worth a look. Obviously, Strange Academy has taken off like through the roof, right? But people are pointing out that there are 3 books that had a preview of Strange Academy before Strange Academy. And I said, okay, it's not the Academy itself that are making people buy that book. It's that there's all these first appearances and they're specking. Because believe me, even though it's a good read, nobody is loving the book so much. This is a $15 book already. People are specking that these characters are going to become big. There's like 10 new characters in the school. If one of them hits big, boom, you got it. So I asked myself in the back of this Ravencroft book, let's take a look at Strange Academy. They actually have the first like 10 pages of Strange Academy in the back of this Ravencroft book. So how many of, what's that, like a flying ant or something? I don't know, it's dead now. So let's see what is actually, is that another one or is it the same one? Gotta make sure like they don't dive. You ever see them dive into your whiskey because it's like sweet and sugary? Okay, so Emma Stanton, we already know, or Zelma Stanton, we already know. She's the one guiding this new young girl. So Zelma was in Doctor Strange #1 from the Mark Waid run. But she's already got this new girl here, and I can't remember her name. I want to say Emily. she doesn't actually call her by name, right? But that's one new character. And then you see the Academy, okay, which is pretty cool. And then we have now here in cameo, at least, right? Because they're not speaking, and one of them is speaking, but you have all the class, right? Including this big giantess right here. You've got the entire class right here hanging out, and you got some of them here. Then you got Dr. Voodoo coming in, introducing the staff, but you have some of them with speaking parts. So, I mean, I would totally consider this first appearances, right? Look at this guy down here, the little pumpkin head. Okay, he's got a full speaking part. This is like his second dialogue. That's not a cameo. That's an appearance. And then a few more of them, like say something. Who wants to have some fun the first day of school? And they all raise their hands. So again, cameo down here. But then when they actually speak up here, you can sit this one out if you'd like. Son of the Dork Dimension. Sick burn, though I expected more from someone from Asgard. All right, so we definitely have speaking parts for some of the characters from Strange Academy. So I would say Ravencroft, if you're specking on those characters, Ravencroft has a cameo of all of them, has a first appearance of about 3 or 4 of them for sure. I don't know how that works in the larger scheme of things, but I think definitely it's a worthwhile pickup. I got 3 copies for cover. Found this for $2. Jupiter's Legacy. This is one of Mark Millar's Netflix supposedly books. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Marvel Age. Oh, dude, I collect these boards. Any board that's stamped, right? I collect. Totally dig that. Anybody know what this is? Hey, Superior. How you doing, my friend? I went on live because this isn't the time for my usual show, and I realized there's an auction going on, and Jigs has a hangout with 10 people in, and I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere today, and that's okay. So anyway, if anybody's unfamiliar with this is the preview of Peter Porker, the spectacular. Ooh, it's a nice shape too. Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham, is drawn in here somewhere. So these Marvel Age were always like previews of things and talking about what's going on in the Marvel universe. And they kind of came out in the late to mid 80s. And there it is, a special preview of Marvel Tales, including Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. Right? So I think I think that it's a $10 book. It doesn't eclipse the first appearance. It doesn't eclipse Peter Porker, Spectacular Spider-Ham #1. I think it's exactly what it is, where it is, how it should be. Mike, you're still here. Chime in on Strange Academy, man. What do you think? I know that you, what's it called? I know that you've purchased a lot of those. What do you think about the Ravencroft and the other 2 books? I don't know what they are that have the preview of that. Either come and hang out with me or type in the chat. Moving on, The Prisoner, Book A. I think there's A, B, C, D. This was a cult television show from the 60s that my sister loves. So I bought these for my sister. I sent you a little care package for her and my nephew the other day. And I put book B, C, and D, but I found book A today. So, yeah. Found a Knights of Republic book. What was that, like $1 or something? Oh, maybe that was perhaps, sorry. That ends that part of the haul today, people. Before I went to that store, I went to Half Price Books in Renton, which is not the one in Tacoma. Found a Knights of Republic. I've got enough of these because of like their value that I'm just going to start and get the whole thing. So another cool cover, another cool book. You just got the Walmart one. Okay. Do you think there's any value in the previews of Strange Academy? Are they long-term holds or are they quick flips? What do you think? So I found, while you're talking about that, die number 2 for $8. Signed at his website for $25. That's not bad at all. Hey man, take care, Superior. Have a good night. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by. So that definitely works. And then I found the second printing of number 1 for $3. I was like, that I'm grabbing. Absolutely. This is the first Galactus is God Singer or something. I don't know. This is a big book, or is becoming a big book, or coming a small book, coming a medium book, becoming a key book. This is a book. So I found it for half off cover for $2. Key Market Comic Watch has it listed as $2. So you'd say it's a long-term hold. Okay. Interesting. 52 week 1. I just bought it because they had it and I wanted it. So $1. I got myself Marvel Comics Present, Wolverine Nightcrawler, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange. And then the only other stuff that I had at I found at that particular half price was this one, Star Wars Adventures number 1. I've actually got the B cover of that, which is pretty cool. These are all $1 each, so I figured why not start to get these. 10, 12, 13. If you're looking at these, you want to get number 6 and 25. I have several copies of number 6. They did not have 25. They did not have 25 in this shop. They went up to 24, as a matter of fact. 22, 23, 24. But I kind of dig these books. I kind of like them a lot. There's Annual from 2018, which is like a square-bound book, and the Annual from 2019. So I was actually pretty happy with this. And of course, Jackson the Space Bunny and Lando Calrissian. That's awesome art. I love that. Yeah, Mike, I think you are 100% right there. I think that something big is going to happen with them and a lot of those books, and that Galactus cover 1 is definitely one of them. All right, so I'm not a whiz with the tech, but I was going to try to introduce a new segment today. I missed it already. I messed it up already. All right, do the hustle. Let's see if I get my video banned because of that. So, talking about the hustle, I just showed you a bunch of books. Some I bought for my PC, some I bought for just with the idea of flipping them. Right now, flipping comes with a cost. You've got to spend time looking for books. You've got to hope you can find books that are cheap, and you've got to make sure that you can actually get the books onto an auction. So, last Thursday or 2 weeks ago, I was on Whodet's auction. I sold a lot of books. Last Thursday, he was sick. I tried to get on an auction on a different day. It didn't work out. I sold a book that I bought for $50. I thought I could sell for $70. I ended up selling it. I bought it for $44. I ended up selling it for $50. I thought I could sell it for $70. So $6 made last week, a couple $100 made the week before. But this is what the hustle is all about. I do not buy $300, $400 books or $100 books and flip them, clean and press them. Some people do, and that's great. I try to buy dollar books and flip them for $15 if I can find. So I bought these mystery packs. I showed on my show, some live show I did last Friday, I think, from a local store. And sometimes the mystery packs have absolutely crap. This time, I found it in one of the packs I bought. It had these 4 Saga, and I know that I could sell these for more than $7, as a lot, especially with some other Saga that I bought from Thoro that I didn't need. I don't know why I bought them because I already had them, right? So what we're doing here is I'm going to try to take a month of August, and unfortunately, I can't start with a clean slate and stop with a clean slate. There will always be books from the time before uh, that I go over, and there will always be books like that carry over. But I'm going to try to look at this for a month and see how I do, right? So there's $18 worth of junk in there. Now the junk, sometimes the junk goes straight to a box that I just sell back to half price books. Sometimes the junk is books I think, oh, these are dollar books. Maybe somebody wants them, they remember them, like there's some image number ones and stuff. Those are the sorts of things that sell on Discovery Bay's pop-up show. And that's what I try to do with that. I got these 2 books for about $2 each. 97 is the first Jenica in a yellow costume, not a big deal. But the 101 is the first Mona Lisa and somebody else, 2 pets from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show. That 101 is selling for $15. So maybe I can make some money there. I bought these for $1 each. Right now, the reason there's no sold for is because I haven't been on an auction yet. Used to be you could sell the one on the left for $10. Now it probably is like a $3 book, but now that everybody's hyped on this She-Hulk, this book on the right, people are talking about selling it for $20, $25, $30. So I got the pair of those, right? So that's just a few of the books. I don't want to show you everything, but this is what I spent last week. And this is not on books for my PC, right? I'm not counting books for my PC. So before I take any profit out to buy a bigger book, I've got to put $230 back into my my checking account. Like, not that I couldn't afford this, but the idea is I want to try to flip the books more than I got them, and then take that money and keep the profit, and then buy a bigger book with that, or buy another book with that. And because, like I said, I'm not buying big books, $600 books and selling them for $800. I'm buying $4 books and hopefully selling them for $20. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of digging through back issue bins. It takes a lot of just grunt work, just sweating through boxes, taking time right away from the family, and ultimately, I guess the question is it worth it? How do I do? Am I actually making money on this, or am I just washing clean? The books that I get for my PC, are they actually worth it? All those questions are, I think, interesting to ask, and I think fun to ask. I bought a bunch of $2 books at half price today, or yesterday, and I have no idea. These are all like these new Batman, Superman's first appearance of Shazam Who Laughs. Right? And there's some first appearances in here that are minor. And so we'll see if this is the first appearance of the Secret Six, not to be confused with the Sinister Six. So, a lot of interesting questions with these. But this is the sort of thing I do. Buy these cheap books on spec, hope that they will mature and that I'll be able to sell them for more than I bought them. I have to buy at a level where I'm comfortable. So if I end up selling these books and breaking even, losing $20, or only making $20, or not selling them, I'm okay keeping some of them. Some of them I'm clearly not okay with keeping, but some of them it's like, okay, I could keep this if I want. So it's this interesting balance, and I don't know where it's going to go from here. But that is the hustle. And each Tuesday when I do my show, I'm going to update you with the hustle and see how we're doing. Hopefully by next week, I'll have some sold. I'll have some sold categories filled in so you could see how I did with those books. And yeah, man, that's about it. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to cut it short today because I don't have much else to go over. Lots of books that need bagging and boarding. Uh, yeah, getting rid of books. You've got a massive collection that you're selling, right? So you've got your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You got X-Men books and Star Wars books. I'm not a Turtles collector, but X-Men and Star Wars, I'm still trying to collect those. So, I'm not selling my X-Men or my Star Wars yet. Maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now, but those are books that I want right now. So I can't, I'm not selling any of the PC that like means a lot to me yet. I've been thinking about it. There's a bunch of series that I'm done with, and I'm like, all right, I can get rid of these. But on the other hand, I'm not necessarily sure that anybody wants to buy some of these series, right? Like Shutter, great image book from 3 years ago. Does anybody care about Shutter anymore? I loved reading it. Got number one. I've got some variants. I've got some signatures, but ultimately, it's tough. So, yeah, I know, Mike, you do great. The books that you get, it's wonderful to see what you do. And I'm impressed when I see you pull in books, and see what you sell. You sell some stuff incredibly cheap, and then people catch on. Oh, Mike sells stuff cheap, and then there's more and more people in your auction. Oh, Mike sells stuff expensive. But your auctions, I gotta say, man, they're a lot of fun because they're just really chill and laid back. And it's a good time. And then that picture in your avatar of you with Stan, you just look like such a New Englander. I gotta imagine you're wearing Docksiders with no socks. It's just my guess. But looking at those shorts and looking at that shirt, I can imagine you're wearing Docksiders and you're going to go out on a boat right after that picture. just messing with you, man. Yeah, I wouldn't say you're lucky. I think you've done a good job at promoting yourself, right? Steals and deals every single day. Get your name out there. You were on an auction with me, you've been on some other auctions, and you started your own. I think you did really well with that. And I think that's important to understand. And on that note, I am going to take off and see what else is around. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Had a little lower viewership number than usual. Usually we get about 10 viewers. Only had 2 today. That's okay. We will figure it out and be back next Tuesday with another episode of Bourbon and Bullshit. Hope to see you all there. Take care.